2,776 clues have come and gone, but 26 new ones are headed your way as part of this 102nd episode of Disney Jeopardy. Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and thank you so much for joining me. If you joined me last week for episode 101, you know about all the new bells and whistles. We've got new graphics here, we've got new features, and most importantly, we have introduced the fact that each of these upcoming episodes has a specific theme. Last week was all about dogs. This week, it's all about live action films. So what 5 categories will I be quizzing you on today? Well, only time will tell, and guess what? The time is now. So without further delay, let's check out what we'll be playing. If we're doing live action movies, of course we have to do some live action remakes. The second category you'll be playing, upcoming remakes. This is all about films that haven't come out yet from the Walt Disney Company that are remakes of animated classics. The third category you'll be playing, not quite a remake. Okay, sometimes Disney likes to take a classic animated tale and then add a new twist or wrinkle to it. That's what this category is all about. The fourth category is, of course, your theme park category of the week, and that is park inspired. And the fifth and final category selected by the Club DJ members is Beauty and the Beast. That's right, I gave the Club DJ members the option of Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, or Cruella to have its own category this week. Beauty and the Beast pulls out the victory, not that big of a surprise. You'll be getting 5 clues all about the film released in 2017. And with that, it is now time for the easiest round of the game, the Cupcake Round. Each of these clues are worth just 200 points each, so hopefully you go 5 for 5. Let's see if you do by kicking off the game with a little live action remake. These two provide the voices for Timon and Pumbaa in the live action Lion King. Correct answer is Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen.
Scar looked at us. He knew it was the end of the line. I could smell the fear.
Actually, that was me.
Also, shout out to Billy Eichner, my former co-star. At least that's what I tell myself on the show Difficult People. Yes, there's my big scene where I stood in the front of a line for a David Blaine. Did I get my name in the credits? No. Am I a little bitter about it? Maybe just a little bit, but either way, it was cool to work with Billy Eichner. Billy on the street. All right, here we go. Moving on. Upcoming remakes for 2. This much publicized live action remake is Disney's first in 2025 with a release date set for March. What is Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs?
I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you?
Your first clue from not quite a remake goes like this. Winnie the Pooh gets the quote-unquote live action treatment with the release of this movie in 2018. Starring Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's Christopher Robin.
What to do indeed.
Who?
Christopher Robin. No.
Theme park fans stand up, it's park inspired for the first time. Despite playing a large role in the film Tomorrowland, the It's a Small World attraction is actually found in this area of both the Magic Kingdom and a Disneyland. So they're actually found on opposite ends of the parks, but they both fall into the Fantasyland area of, yes, the Magic Kingdom and Disneyland. And here comes Club DJ's Beauty and the Beast. Before he dances and then rejects the elderly woman at the start of the film, the first time we see the prince, he's doing this. What is putting on makeup?
Once upon a time in the hidden heart of France, a handsome young prince lived in a beautiful castle.
All right, here we go. 400-point round begins with some other live-action remakes. The two characters Helena Bonham Carter played in the live action Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella movies. Well, she's a great actress, and she really showed her range here by playing two extremes. On one hand, she played the Red Queen, or the quote unquote Queen of Hearts, in the Alice movies, and then she went to the good side and played the fairy godmother in Cinderella.
That's better. Now, where was I?
Here comes upcoming remakes for 4. This screenshot comes from a teaser trailer for a Disney live-action movie releasing later this year. Well, Disney's intention when releasing this teaser was to kind of fool you a little bit and say, hey, I bet you thought this was a Moana teaser. Instead, it's Lilo and Stitch. They actually did this again by releasing a teaser that looked like it was going to be about Mufasa or the Lion King, and it turned out to be Lilo and Stitch. So Disney definitely having a little fun with the Lilo and Stitch marketing. Here comes not quite a remake for the second time. This famed director was originally asked to create an animated Maleficent movie before he ended up working on Frankenweenie and Alice in Wonderland instead. Actually, when Disney approached Tim Burton, who is the correct answer here, they also asked him if he wanted to make a Nightmare Before Christmas sequel, and he responded by saying, no chance. What am I going to do? Nightmare Before Arbor Day? That is a direct quote. Moving on, here comes Park Inspired for 4. 3 different Disney films were inspired by and utilized this attraction's name in their titles. The top of my head, I'm assuming it's only second to Pirates of the Caribbean. The correct answer here is Haunted Mansion. Of course, you had Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion back in 2003. Then Muppets Haunted Mansion is in there as well. That, in my opinion, is the best. And you had the recent one that had Owen Wilson in it. And I've actually done a Muppets Haunted Mansion category. If you want to play it, just follow the link at the top of your screen. Let's finish off the 400-point round with Beauty and the Beast. This is where Belle lived when she was a baby. A little fun scene that was incorporated into the live action movie. You know what? It was not actually fun. Now that I think about it, wrong use of word right there. A little interesting scene that was included in the live action film and not the animated one was when we go back and see where baby Belle lived, and that was in Paris.
Where did you take us?
Paris.
400-point round complete. We move on to the 600s now. We're back to live action remakes, not named Beauty and the Beast. In 2023's The Little Mermaid, Jodie Benson's character hands Ariel one of these. So technically, she hands her 2 things. One is a bowl, and if you're the one person out there who said bowl, then fine, give yourself the points. But the answer I was really looking for was dinglehopper, but I guess from Jodie Benson's perspective, it wasn't a dinglehopper, it was just a fork. So fork, dinglehopper, or bowl, I guess, works for me. And how cool was that, incorporating Jodie Benson into The Little Mermaid? You know you had to do it. She is the Disney princess, Jodie Benson, right? Right? No argument there? All right, let's move on. Here comes upcoming remakes for 600. When this remake comes out in 2026, it'll mark the shortest amount of time Disney has waited to recreate one of their animated movies into a live-action film. "10 years. That's all Disney said was needed to release Moana, the live-action movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's a little confusing when Moana came out and then they announced the live action, but Moana 2 was still in production, and then Moana 2 came out, but now we're going back to the original story, I'm assuming, the live action Moana. Either way, I'm going to go see it, but 10 years does seem like a short amount of time. Here we go. with not quite a remake for the halfway point of the game. In 2010, Disney released a live-action film named after this segment in 1940's Fantasia. Starring Nicolas Cage, what is The Sorcerer's Apprentice? Here comes Park Inspired for 600 points. This attraction became Disney's first to have a movie based on it in 1997. Before Pirates of the Caribbean, before Haunted Mansion, and before Kirsten Dunst became Spider-Man, no, she didn't become Spider-Man, became Mary Jane in Spider-Man, she starred in the original attraction film, or film based on an attraction, that was the Tower of Terror. And we finish off the 600-point round with Beauty and the Beast. As a gift for Belle, Maurice tried to swipe this from the castle before the Beast captured him. The answer is a rose.
A life sentence for a rose.
I received eternal damnation for one.
We move on to the 800s. It's live-action remakes for the fourth time. Not only did he voice a character in Hercules, but Danny DeVito also played a character in this Disney live-action remake. He played the ringmaster in Dumbo.
We gotta pee. We gotta pee.
What is that?
Here comes upcoming remakes for 800. The Russo brothers, directors of Avengers Endgame and some other MCU movies, are set to produce a live-action adaptation of this 1997 Disney movie. What is Hercules? Here comes not quite a remake for 800. The name of the Chihuahua in Cruella. He's a cute little guy. The correct answer is Wink. On to Park Inspired now for 800. Audio from the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction can be heard after a ship goes over a waterfall in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. The film was this number installment in the franchise. There have been 5 Pirates of the Caribbean films, with rumors swirling for the last couple of months about a number 6, but where did At World's End fall? The correct answer is number 3. Final clue before the 1000s. It's Beauty and the Beast for 8. In the animated film, Gaston, hello Belle, stabs the Beast before the villain falls off the castle. In the live-action movie, he does this instead to inflict damage before meeting his demise. He shoots him. That's right, Gaston actually fires away at Beast before his little bridge collapses. Okay, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily spotlight part of the game, the 1,000-point round. Hit it. All right, here we go. Live action remakes for the final time. It's worth 1,000 points. In both 1994 and 2016, Disney released live action remakes based on the same film. That film was The Jungle Book.
Walt Disney Pictures presents the classic story of a boy who grew up with the wildest friends of all.
Whoa. Elephants.
Bow your head.
Why?
Show them respect.
Here comes upcoming remakes' final clue. Questlove has been tagged as the director for this remake, a 1970 Disney classic. So look, I'm excited about this, but it just feels like a straight to Disney Plus movie. Very much like Lady and the Tramp. The correct answer is The Aristocats. Here comes not quite a remake for the final time. The combo years of 1996 and 2000, 2010 and 2016, 2014 and 2019, 2019 and 2024 share this in common. So the correct answer here is the fact that first year in each of those combinations included a live-action remake of an animated classic, and then the second year included a sequel or prequel that was an original story based on the live-action remake. So go back to 96 and 2000. That was 101 Dalmatians, and then the brand new 102 Dalmatians. 2010, we got Alice in Wonderland. In 2016, we got the sequel, Through the Looking Glass. 2014 brought us Maleficent. 2019 brought us Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. And finally, 2019 gave us The Lion King. 2024 gave us the new tale of Mufasa. Here we go, Mark inspired for the final time. It's worth 1,000. Or is it? That's right, it is time for the Daily Double. That's because this is clue 2,800 in this show's lengthy history. This is a big Daily Double because I'm sure a lot of you have a ton of points. You can wager them all if you're confident in your park knowledge. Park knowledge that has to do with live action movies. It's a tough one though. Make your wagers. All right, time's up. Let's see what this Daily Double clue is. 8 years after it closed, Disney adapted this former Disneyland and Magic Kingdom attraction into a film released in 2000. Correct answer is Mission to Mars. It's the final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. It's a 1,000 pointer for Beauty and the Beast. This is what Belle's mother died from. Discover it thanks to the mask found in the Paris scene. The correct answer is the plague.
Plague.
You must leave. Now.
25 clues are down and one remains, and it just so happens to be the one clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be to next week's episode 103. Let's check out the Final Jeopardy category in this episode of Disney Jeopardy. Smooches. That's right. Next week's episode falls on Valentine's Day. So it's an episode all about your favorite Disney couples and favorite Disney love stories. This category specifically, though, is about smooches or kisses. So if you think you're knowledgeable about Disney characters kissing each other, make a big fat wager right now and prove it. Keep in mind, I included some earlier in this game. If you have an idea for a love-related trivia clue in next week's episode, you can head to DisneyJeopardy.com and submit your very own clue on the clue page. Here we go. It's your final clue in episode 102. This Disney feature animation prince/princess couple shared the least amount of time on screen together before their first kiss. Good luck. And time is up. It was honestly a pretty close race between 4 different couples. You have Charming and Cinderella, you had Snow Prince and Snow White, Philip and Aurora, and Prince Naveen and Princess Tiana. Rapunzel and and Flynn take it slow, as do Jasmine and Aladdin. That's the guy's name. Yeah. But who won the title for fastest first kiss? The correct answer is Snow Prince and Snow White. Here's the final rankings of those four in terms of how much time they spent together before their first kiss. Yes, it was relatively close. And that does it for episode 102 of Disney Jeopardy. Thanks so much for watching. Shout out to all the Club DJ members who selected Beauty and the Beast, the one live-action movie I didn't want to do a category on this week, but I forgive you all. I get it. I understand. It is a classic. If you want to vote in those polls, make sure you join Club DJ today by clicking the join button under this video if you're watching on a computadora. Speaking of the poll, there it is right now. I mentioned it's all about Valentine's Day. Next week, which one of these categories will get a category of its own? Make your selections right now. Also, shout out to Joe Nelson, one of the Club DJ members who has his own podcast show, The Producer Joe Show. I hopped on it to talk about all things Disney. So search The Producer Joe Show on YouTube to check it out. And now you know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe. Click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I'll see you next week for Valentine's Day Disney Trivia. I hope you'll join me. Till then.
Bye-bye.